Listen, I thank you all for coming. I have some comments at the end about the night, but I want to talk tonight about Palestine. This is the 50th year of the occupation. It's 70 years since the partition and 100 years since Balfour. And the story that you're about to see play out on the screen is a story about resilience and about hope and about an amazing ability of a people who I first met in refugee camps in Lebanon to translate personal suffering into a narrative of hope. This brings us to our final awardee of the night, Kamal Bolata. Kamal was born in Jerusalem, graduated from the Academy of Rome, and arrived in the United States shortly after the Six-Day War. He pursued his studies at the Corcoran Art Museum and lived in Washington for 25 years, after which he went to Morocco on a Fulbright, then to France for 15, and now lives in Germany, where he has been elected as a fellow of the Institute for Advanced Study in Berlin. And yet, those of us who remember Kamal still think of him as a Washingtonian, because he is. In many ways, he lives with us. He haunts my life. There are Kamal Bolata paintings in my home. My daughter has met you and said his paintings still are the earliest memories I have growing up. He's in my office, he's in the other office, and there's not a place I can go every day where I don't see a Kamal Bolata painting. I first came across Kamal's work before I met him. It was The Lover from Palestine, the book you have, parts of which, an excerpt of which you have on your table. His drawings were so powerful, so compelling, and at the same time so hopeful, that they inspired me in a way that actually politics couldn't. My first sense of Palestine came through poetry, and it came through art. And it came through the stories of people in the camps that themselves were kinds of poets about their own lives, creating in their lives a vision of Palestine, somehow a remarkable resilience in what they've done. And so I met Kamal, and we did a number of things together. Almost any organization I founded, Kamal did the logo for. And the logo is more than just something you put on a stationery. It captures the essence of who and what you are, and Kamal always had the ability to do that. In a sense, my work has always been kind of devoted to living up to the image that Kamal created for us in the logos that he made. It wasn't only for my organization, but for almost any Arab American organization or Palestinian organization in the 70s and 80s. It was Kamal's logos that designed. When we went to the Democratic Convention in 1988 and for the first time ever raised the issue of Palestine from a party platform from the stage, I looked out over a sea of people wearing Kamal's logo saying, "Palestine lives." You saw the poster there. We still use that poster today because Palestine does live in more ways than those who've tried to kill it could ever imagine. His work in the culture and in arts, not only so substantial here in America, but then in France and now in Berlin, makes him someone that we felt so deserving of special recognition. Recognition for his work, but also for the spirit of Palestine that lives in him and that he has been able to create for us in his art that continues to live. And so, Kamal Bolata, a special recognition to you.
Compared to the extensive geographic area of the Arab world, Historic Palestine represents a small country. And yet, just as the heart is a small organ that determines the body's life or death, Palestine's role in the region's history has been as determinative to its surrounding world. All along, Jerusalem's spiritual and cultural heritage reflected the heartbeat of that world.